Question 21B. Describe the trends in the morbidity and mortality rates of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. This question was 7 marks. If we have a look at the syllabus and see the dot point that it comes from, it's the critical question is what are the priority issues for improving Australia's health, and in this section we're looking at different groups. We can see here that the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples, we need to, with regard to this, the dot point is telling us that we should be able to investigate the nature and the extent of the health inequities, the social justice and social economic environmental determinants, and the roles of individuals and communities and governments in addressing the health inequities. So that's the dot point there. If we have a look at the glossary of keywords, the word describe, we're providing characteristics and features of. So we're looking at what makes up the morbidity and mortality rates for this particular group, being Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders. Most boys were able to discuss the disadvantaged, or the reason why the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander group is disadvantaged. We needed to look at it in terms of the morbidity and mortality rates. The first thing that should have been discussed would have been the 17 years of the difference between life expectancy for this particular group and other groups within our society. Then delving into it in a little bit more depth, looking at specifics of mortality and morbidity, and in particular for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders, we could talk about CVD, where they're much higher in terms of the incidence for Torres Strait Islanders. Diabetes is another area that has significant variances between this group and other areas of our society. Cancers was another group of issues, as well as respiratory diseases and injuries. These are the major areas that you would have been discussing and given examples of how they vary and are much higher in the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander. You can see this answer here that they've discussed some of the causes or the determinants of that, the socio-economic, socio-cultural and the environmental factors. So areas where people fell down were not being specific in terms of making mention of the trends. You didn't need to do specific statistics, but in terms of the trends, where we're looking for you to have accurate information with regard to the trends.